Hola, soy Señora Stevens, and in this video I'm going to talk you through how to approach the 90-word writing task for the Spanish GCSE AQA paper. The 90-word task is marked out of 16, there is a mark out of 10 for content, and this is about how much you cover the bullet points and how clear your communication is. The quality of language mark is out of 6, and this is to do with the complexity of your language, the range of vocabulary, and most importantly, those 3 time frames. This example 90-word task reads: Tu amigo español acaba de celebrar su cumpleaños. Te escribe para preguntarte sobre tu colegio y tus planes para el futuro. Escríbele una carta. Menciona ¿qué hiciste con tu familia para celebrar tu último cumpleaños? Tus opiniones sobre tu vida en el colegio, cómo van tus exámenes, qué vas a hacer el septiembre que viene. In this video, we're looking at the 90-word crossover question. And before I start my answer, I'm going to do a little check, a little sort of plan. So this is my 90-word task. And I've got a few sort of checks I need to make so that I understand exactly what's been asked of me in the question. With the 90-word task, one bullet is always an opinion. So I need to identify that from my task. I need to work out which one is asking me to give an opinion. And in this question, it's quite straightforward because that word is in there, it's a cognate. So I can see on my second bullet point, it says tus opiniones sobre tu vida en el colegio. So I've identified my opinion bullet point. One bullet point is always in the past tense. So I need to identify which one is asking me to write in the past tense. And in this, I have to try and identify it even if there isn't a logical time marker. And in this question, the first bullet point says ¿Qué hiciste con tu familia para celebrar tu último cumpleaños? So I've got a couple of clues here. One is the word hiciste, and if I see a verb that ends in iste or aste, I know this is the past tense in the you form. That's the preterite. So that's my big clue. I've seen that verb there. I've seen hiciste, so that's my big clue that it's in the past tense. There's also the clue where it says tu último cumpleaños. Último does not mean ultimate. It's not asking you to describe the best ultimate party that you could ever have. It's asking about your last birthday. So último means latest or last. So that's my big clue that that's my past tense bullet point. And one bullet point is always in the future. So I have to identify which one is the future tense bullet point. And in here, I've got the fourth bullet point which says ¿Qué vas a hacer el septiembre que viene? And again, I've got 2 clues here. I've got the ¿Qué vas a hacer?, which is the near future tense. Okay, I recognize that because it's got the present tense of the verb to go, plus the little word a, plus an infinitive. So, ¿Qué vas a hacer? What are you going to do? And then I've also got the clue with el septiembre que viene, which is another way of saying next September. Translates as this coming September, which the Spanish use quite a lot. So by seeing that el septiembre que viene, I know that it's asking me to talk about this coming September, next September. So I'm also going to think about a little success criteria for me. Which things do I want to include and what should I be looking out for and making sure that I include in my essay? So I need to make sure that I have full coverage of the bullet points. I don't have to write equally across the bullet points, but I do have to write something about each one. I need to show a variety of language. So no repetition, lots of different verbs and adjectives and opinion phrases. I need to have 3 time frames, okay, so past, present and future. And I can of course include more tenses than that, but I need to have at least 3 time frames mentioned. I should aim to have some reference to others, so I don't just write about I, but I talk about he or she as well. And I should, as this is a 90-word task, this is the crossover question, I should try and include some more complex structures. And these could be things like the snazzy phrases from the essential list that you work through. It could be things like using comparatives, it could be showing a wider range of tenses, it could be using sort of C clauses, if and when, it could be using direct object pronouns, and just a wider range of connectives and not just sticking to however and but all the time. So that's my success criteria. Let's make a start on the essay. This is question 4.1, the 90-word task. And remember, when you are answering this question, you only do one of the 90-word tasks, not both. So I'm going to do 4.1. And I start off reading the scenario at the top. It says, tu amigo español acaba de celebrar su cumpleaños, te escribe para preguntarte sobre tu colegio y tus planes para el futuro. So my clue words here, I've got cumpleaños, which means birthday, and I've got colegio y planes para el futuro. So I know that I'm going to be thinking about vocabulary from Theme 1, Customs and Festivals, and from Theme 3, School and Future Plans. So I'm going to set out my essay bullet point by bullet point. So I'm going to start off with bullet point 1, which says, ¿Qué hiciste con tu familia para celebrar tu cumpleaños, tu último cumpleaños? So what did you do with your family to celebrate your last birthday? I'm going to put myself straight away into the past tense with a past tense time phrase. El año pasado, para mi cumpleaños, fui a un restaurante con mi familia. I might give a little bit more information now, maybe what I ate at the restaurant. So I might say de primer plato. Comí pollo, y de postre, for pudding, tomé helado, I had ice cream. And then I might just put an opinion at the end, past tense, fue muy rico, it was really tasty. Okay, bullet point 2. Tus opiniones sobre tu vida en el colegio. So I'm talking about my opinions on life at school. So I might try and use a different opinion phrase here so that I am showing variety of language. So I'm going to start with something like diría que, I would say that, conditional tense. Me gusta mi colegio. So I've got an opinion in there. Aunque. I'm showing some variety here with my connective, so aunque, although, el trabajo escolar es muy difícil. So I've got a balanced opinion here, so I've said something I like, but then I've also balanced it with an alternate point of view. So I like my school, however, although, the schoolwork is really difficult. And this could actually lead me on to my next bullet point, which was ¿Cómo van tus exámenes? How are your exams going? So I might actually link these two together and and use a por ejemplo. Examiners like por ejemplo. Ayer, past tense. Tuve, preterite. Un examen de matemáticas. Durante 2 horas. So yesterday I had a maths exam for 2 hours. And then I could show a little bit of complexity here by using an exclamation that's quite typically sort of Spanish. So, que pesadilla, what a nightmare. Sort of more higher level language here. And then again, maybe flip it on its head because it says how are your exams going. I don't want to just talk about one, so let's go into a different tense. I'm going to go future now and say something about tomorrow. Mañana tengo el examen de español. Pero me encanta el español. Pienso que el examen será, future tense, un éxito. Éxito was actually in one of the last exams, so not meaning exit, it means a success. So tomorrow I have Spanish exam. However, I love Spanish. I think that the exam will be a success, so I've given a really nice balanced point of view there with some nice complexity. Okay, so bullet 4 is ¿Qué vas a hacer el septiembre que viene? What are you going to do this coming September? So I'm going to start off just borrowing that language straight from the bullet point and get myself into that future tense time frame. So el septiembre que viene. And I'm going to use one of my snazzy phrases here. Tengo la intención. So I intend to, but it gives the notion of the future tense. So tengo la intención de continuar mis estudios al colegio. And then maybe here might be an opportunity to talk about somebody else. So, pero mi amiga va a empezar un aprendizaje. So my friend's going to start an apprenticeship. So some really specific vocabulary to do with the topic, future tense, and also reference to others. So loads of complexity there. And then I might finish it off with another future tense, maybe my plans for the future. So en el futuro. Quiero ser profesora. And then I can bring in another snazzy phrase here. For example, porque siempre he querido, because I've always wanted to trabajar con niños, because I've always wanted to work with children. So let's count that up now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 2, 3, 4, 104. So I'm happy with that. Now I've finished my essay, I want to go back and check my success criteria to see if I have met all of my criteria. So the first one I had was the full coverage of the bullet points. So have I written something about all 4 bullet points? I'm going to take my essay and I can see that I've got a paragraph for the first, the second, the third and the 4th bullet point. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to tick it off. Have I used a variety of language? So I'm checking to see that there's no repetition, that I haven't used the same opinion phrases twice, that I haven't used the same adjectives twice, that I haven't used the same vocabulary twice. And I'm happy that there is a good range of vocabulary here. So I'm going to tick that off. I want to see that I've used 3 time frames, so I'm looking for my past, my present and my future. So bullet point 1 is in the past tense. Bullet point 3, I've talked about yesterday and I've also talked about tomorrow. So I've got my past and my future. And then I've got bullet point 4, talking about next September. So I've got my future tense again there. So I'm quite happy that I've got a full coverage of my tenses there, my time frames. Reference to others, I'm checking to see that I've talked about somebody else, and I did that in my last bullet point where I said that my friend was going to do an apprenticeship, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to tick that off. And then finally to say, have I used some more complex structures? So I'm looking for things in here that would do that. So I've used varied opinion phrases such as diría que. I've used aunque, although, so it's a different, more variety with my connectives. I've also used a couple of my snazzy phrases, tengo la intención and siempre he querido. So I'm really happy there that I've shown that I can use complexity. Once I've done that, I'm happy with my 90-word task and I would be satisfied to hand that in.